Oh,
And Jason.
Jenny's.
You're university. Okay, so, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, all right, I'll tell you when she started. And we finished the, opening. And, President introducing the grammarian, which is Jimmy.
Hello, I'm the grammarian for today. My job is to take note of filler words such as like, some, as well as track the word of the day, which is ameliorate. It is a verb. Ameliorate means to make better or more tolerable. Used in a sentence, it is the knowledge that he was getting stronger ameliorated the soreness John felt after exercising. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. And next, I'd like to bring up our timer, Mr. Horace Taylor, to introduce the timer's role.
Good afternoon. As a timer, I am responsible for keeping track of time. For prepared speeches that are 5 to 7 minutes, at 5 minutes, my background will turn green. And at 6 minutes, my background will turn yellow. And at the 7-minute mark, my background will turn red. Speakers, you have 30 seconds to conclude your remarks once you get to the red background. For table topics responses are from 1 to 2 minutes. At the 1 minute mark, my background should turn green. At the 1.5 minute mark, my background should turn yellow. And at the 2 minute mark, my background will turn red. At that point, you still have 30 seconds to conclude your remarks. For the evaluation section, evaluators know that you have the same green, yellow, red cycle. At the 2 minute mark, my background will turn green. At the 2.5 mark, my background will turn yellow. And at the 3 minute mark, my background will turn red, at which time you have 30 seconds to conclude your remarks. When called upon later in the meeting, I will give my timer's report. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. And now that we have those two down, I'd like to bring up our first evaluator for speaker number 1, Mr. Owen Fee, for Ms. Deanna.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Today, we will actually be hearing a speech from Mr. Jason Pendergrass, and the speech is titled Mentorship. Mr. Pendergrass is going to serve as an example for how to give an exemplary speech by exercising all the necessary components, including using clarity, eye contact, gestures, and vocal variety. And he will be talking about mentorship. Please welcome your speaker, Mr. Jason Pendergrass. Thank you.
Mentorship. Having a good mentor will allow you to achieve successes you never thought possible faster than you could have ever gotten there. You will still face challenges, but with a good mentor and their knowledge and wisdom, you will ameliorate those challenges and be able to overcome those. On the other side of that coin is being a mentor, using your wisdom, your knowledge, your experience to help someone else be successful, whether it's in academic, sports, career, or in life. Nothing feels as intrinsically rewarding as helping someone else be successful and knowing that you had a direct impact on that outcome. I've had several mentors in my life. 5 stick out. The first 2 are obvious, my parents. From the day I was born, continuing on today, they've mentored me in all aspects of life, whether it's how to be a good son, a good friend, a good family member, to be honest, accountable, dependable, responsible, realizing the consequences of my decisions, whether good or bad, and really who I am as a person. Sometimes they mentored me with a belt, and sometimes they mentored me with a hug, but they always had my best interest at heart. In my career, I've also had several mentors. One that sticks out is a former manager, Pascal. 2012, I was an hourly electrician. I had a job, not a career. Paper mill announced a huge expansion. Big eyes on this project, a lot of notoriety, a lot of opportunity, and I applied for an internal promotion, and I was awarded that opportunity. And Pascal knew that I'd be facing challenges. I'm going from being one of the guys to a leader. Leaders are different. They walk different, they talk different, they act different, their attitudes are different. They lead. If you can either lead up or you lead down, but you're leading. So it was important for me and my success. It was important for Pascal and the success of this project that I led the right direction. So he coached me all through that process. And I was successful. And a lot of that came from his wisdom and his knowledge. So I appreciate him for that. And that was he was a mentor that had a big impact in my life. Another mentor I had on the job was actually two people, same company. The president of the company, Jeffrey, and my manager, Corey. They were cut from the same cloth. They were experts in the field of operations, and I was new in the role of production supervisor. I've managed people, but not to this level. I thought I was good at managing people. They showed me my gaps, and they helped mentor me to close those gaps. So my career development took huge steps under their mentorship. Now, they told me during the interview, we're going to coach you hard. We're going to coach you for perfection. We're going to drive you. Am I up for the challenge? And I said, yes. And they did. They coached me hard. They drove me, but I learned so much from them. So again, great mentors helped me develop it in my career. Besides being a mentor, or besides being mentored, I would recommend being a mentor. There's areas of your life where you have a little more knowledge or experience or wisdom than someone else might have, and you can help them. To have them come back years later and say, I took that challenge and was successful because of you, would feel great, right? For me, I want to mentor Deanna. That's my main priority. But I've also mentored people at work and in life. I've helped people get promotions. I've helped people not get fired. I've helped people with their finances. I've helped people in their personal life. And to know that I made a positive impact felt great. Mentorship is so important that some of your local universities teach mentorship. I took a manufacturing excellence course at Christian Brothers University. It's a 9-month program. And they brought an expert on that subject matter, Jasmine Newick. He came to the class. He was a professor. He taught us the importance of being mentored and to be a mentor and the ripple effect it has in your organization, your community, or wherever you're involved at. So please, if you're not being mentored, you're holding yourself back. And if you're not mentoring someone, you're holding them back. So I'd like to encourage you to take that step. Thank you, Toastmaster.
For some speech, Mr. Pendergrass. Next up, we have Eric Gell evaluating Mr. Joseph Sherman.
I'm going to be evaluating Joseph's speech today. I didn't get an email on what he will be talking about, but I'm sure it'll be a very intriguing speech.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to share my screen because I prepared a slideshow. If I can, let me see if I can share. Okay, can you guys see? Okay, cool. Get this out of the way. Okay, so recently I was able to go on a mission trip to the Amazon River in Brazil over spring break. And today I'd like to share with you guys my experience. So let's get right into it. 264 hours, 33 Americans, 18 translators, 1 boat, and 1 escape raft. The people we serve there are called the forgotten people of the Amazon. And these people are indigenous people who have been neglected by the civilization. And that's why they're called the forgotten people. And the Amazon River is their only highway, and boat is their only way of travel. And even the developed nation of Brazil, like around the the Rio de Janeiro area, right? They even sort of have forgotten these people, and they lack access to modern medicine and these basic needs. So there are an estimated 30,000 villages on the banks of the Amazon River with no gospel presence. So we went there and worked in different ministries, including children's VBS, men's, women's, dental, medical, and optical. And we visited 4 villages in total: Fluminense, Santo Antonio de Tracaja, Terra Preta, and Pancracio. So you may be wondering, is it even safe? Is it violent, threatening, right? And although there are definitely some isolated, uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, the ones we visited all had open arms, thanks in large part to this man right here, Pastor Abamael. And this pastor, he's been doing these mission trips for all his life, trying to spread the gospel throughout the Amazon region. And what he does is not easy because the vast majority of Brazil are Catholics, right? So many times he's been threatened and even physically hurt for trying to preach the gospel. And there was one time where even his own home was burned down. Despite these challenges, however, he's continued God's work and has now established more than 50 churches throughout the region and has spread the gospel to many, many villages, and he continues to do that today. So this is really interesting. The meeting of the waters between the Whitewater and then the Rio Negro. This is on day 1 when we're traveling to the villages. And here's also another video of a really nice sunset we saw on day 1. And also, in case you guys are wondering, the crew on board, they took care of us really, really well. So we had a kitchen on board. We slept on board in hammocks. We had showers on there, and yeah, it was really nice. So here's some videos of the food, in case you're wondering. It was really, really good. All right, so I worked in the dental ministry, and I've wanted to become a dentist. I sort of declared I want to pursue dentistry about a year and a half ago. So this was really good experience for me to learn dental assisting, all these tools and all these different procedures. So that's me with an anesthetic syringe. We did a lot of extractions and a lot of root canals, as well as restorative dentistry. Here's a picture of me doing a sealant. And the dental clinic was on the boat actually. So, and it was pretty small. Here's a video. We had 2 doctors on board, and I mainly worked with this doctor, Dr. Andre. And hopefully you guys are not grossed out by teeth or anything, but here are some before and after pictures of some of the restorative dentistry. So basically correcting these villagers' teeth and smile, yeah. So that's before, after. So we took out a lot of cavities, a lot of plaque, and these villagers, a lot of them, it was the first time ever seeing a dentist, and they really do lack quality dental care. This was probably the best one we've had. This was on day 1. This guy had, as you can see, major infection in his teeth. We had to do a couple extractions on him, and we had to give him some new fake teeth. But in the end, he had a lovely smile. And actually, just like seeing these people with these conditions, it really touched my heart because, like I said, they really lack quality dental care. And this person, this guy on the right here, after we did his procedure, he looked in the mirror and he started crying. And that really just touched my heart just to see how, your smile, it truly can transform your life. And on the first day after the first day of the working in the dental clinic, several people approached me asking if I still want to do dentistry, right? Because it can definitely be gross and there's a lot of blood. But no, I feel that it's actually motivated me to continue this work, just seeing these people, their conditions, how poor of dental conditions they have. Yeah, it really just motivates me to want to do more. This is the guy who, with the very bad teeth here. And some of the other things we did for the villages, for the second village, we built them a water well because they did not have access to clean drinking water. We also butchered a cow actually for the third village. And each night we had a reflection time on the boat where we shared our experiences throughout the day and also sang songs. It was really nice. And I want you guys to look at this picture here on the left. This is a picture of a kitchen in one of the villages. So these people live very simple lives and they honestly don't have many things, many materialistic things, right? And they use whatever they have and try to make the best use of it. But despite having such little things in terms of material possession, their smiles were genuine and their happiness was rich. And that made me think about like our lives here back in the US. We have so many things, right? Like technology at our fingertips. We have closets full of clothes, cupboards full of foods. Yet we often find ourselves unhappy or wanting more. And seeing the joy and contentment of these villagers in the Amazon, despite their simplicity, was honestly a very powerful reminder that what truly matters in life is it's not about how much we own, right? But about cherishing what we have and finding joy in simplicity and connection with one another. These are some other funsies. These are the youth group that went there. And on the bottom left here, each night we had to do a sanitization. So each night we had to sanitize all of the dental equipment. So I got all of my friends to come down and do that. And afterwards we would play Uno till like midnight. And I was able to swim with these pink dolphins, as you can see in the middle. And we caught a crocodile one day. And yeah. So thank you guys very much for listening to me. And yeah.
Thank you for that excellent speech. Next up is our table topic session. Our table topics leader would be Miss Ananya, which I don't believe is here right now. Where is she? What do Okay. All right. Let's bring up Mr. Michael for the table topic session.
All right. My first question is, who did you support during March Madness? And what were your feelings at the results? This question is for Xavier.
Thank you for the question. So, me, I didn't really watch March Madness. I'm more of just strictly NBA watcher, so I don't really have a take on March Madness. However, I did see a little bit of the girls play, and I'm not sure what her name is, but they were doing pretty good. It was a pretty good match, and although I wasn't really rooting for either of them, they had I believe I saw a fact that they had the most watched game of the year, I believe, if I'll be not correct. It was on a question of the day that I did a while ago. But yeah, since I didn't really watch March Madness, I don't really have an answer for that. Thank you for the question.
Xavier for that response. My next question is pen or pencil and why? This one is for Mia.
I personally would choose pencil over pens because at least I can erase my mistakes with a pencil. With a pen, I'll just have to scribble it out and hope it doesn't bleed through the paper. For a pencil, it's just easier to carry around and it's much more needed for school than a pen is, unless you're taking AP classes and then you have to write your entire paragraphs in pens. But yeah, that's it. There's really nothing to talk about. Thank you.
If you were a teacher, what class at school could you teach the best? And how would you do it? This one is for Owen.
Thank you for the question. If I were a teacher, I would probably be the best at teaching history class. First of all, history is my favorite subject, and I've actually taken every single AP class about history, including art history, world history, Euro history, American history, and yeah, that's it. So I really think I have a pretty good understanding of historical events. And I also like writing, which history involves a lot, because most of the time you don't really need to, I mean, you need to know what happened, but you need to know more how the significance of things happening impacts other things or maybe impacts our world today. So I think I have a pretty good understanding of how historical events impact each other and affect our modern day world. And I really like history. So I believe that my best subject to teach would probably be history. Thank you.
Thank you for that thoughtful response, Owen. My next question is, would you rather have super strong legs or super strong arms? This one is for Quinn.
I will have super strong arm. Then I could like carry stuff around and like if like in the future like if I want to like move houses or something, like I don't have to pay for all that moving truck thingy. And then I could just like rent a U-Haul truck, and then I could also like win like the deadlift competition thingies. I don't really know what those are called, but I seen it on TV. And that's basically it. Thank you.
My next question is, which meal of the day is your favorite? And what would you eat? Diana.
My favorite meal of the day is breakfast because I like getting up early. And I would eat pancakes, sausage.
You can eat before you go to school.
And I can eat it before I go to school. Thank you, Tess Baxter.
For that response. So, what is a foreign language you would like to learn? This one is for Toastmaster Horace Taylor.
Thank you for the question. The language that I like to learn, there are two of them, Arabic and Chinese. And here's why. Arabic first, because believe it or not, we just ended the Arabic holiday of Ramadan, right? The great fasting period. As Deanna noted, she liked to eat breakfast in the morning. Well, during Ramadan, as Muslims, we would not consume anything, not even water, as long as the sun is up. So from dusk to dawn, right? Then once the sun goes down, then we'll have a little feast. But this lasts for 30 days. To be able to say, I would love to do this, or I would love to describe Ramadan in Arabic is one of the reasons I would like to love to speak or learn the language of Arabic. The other language, as I said, is Chinese because of the characters. And here's why. A number of years ago, I read a book on ancient Egyptian writing. And I must have read that same book about 4 or 5 times. And since that time, I have read several different books on learning how to translate, to transliterate, and read and write ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. A part of that lesson or those reading cycles took me into Chinese characters. And I learned just a few basic Chinese characters. And I was just simply intrigued by it. So that's why I would love to learn to speak both Chinese and Arabic. Thank you, and back to you, sir.
Thank you for that response. My next question is, with the end of the year approaching, what is one thing you are looking forward to and why? Eric. Oh, school year. Yeah, my bad.
With the end of the school year approaching, the thing that I'm looking forward the most is summer break. That is when I won't be yelled at for not turning in homework, for not writing my name on my assignments, and just sleeping in class. I tend to sleep in class a lot because our school starts at 7 and I'm not awake until 9 o'clock. And so I look forward to summer break because I can wake up anytime I want and I can do whatever I want. I can play video games for like hours at a time and I can just eat as much as I want. But in school, I can't do any of that because we have to learn. So therefore, the thing that I'm looking forward the most to with the school year ending is probably summer break. Thank you.
Exactly what I'm thinking. All right, the same question. With the end of this school year approaching, what is the thing you're most not looking forward to and why? This one is for Ginny.
With the end of the school year approaching, the one thing I'm least looking forward to is AP exams. So my mom is like very heavy on education, so I'm taking 7 AP classes this year, and I need to study for 6 of them. With the AP exams approaching in a month, I'm kind of screwed, especially in my history classes. Yeah, Owen's gonna help me. AP exams require a lot of writing, which I'm not particularly good at, writing essays. And I don't like taking tests for very long periods of time because I get sleepy. So the thing I'm least looking forward to at the end of the school year is AP exams.
My next question is, what was an experience that made you absolutely exhausted? This one is for Joseph.
So the question is, what was an experience that made me really exhausted?
Yes.
Okay. That would be tennis, probably. So I've been playing tennis for more than 12 years now, and competitively more than 6 years, I'd say. And I used to live in Texas, where tennis is a lot more popular than here in Arkansas. And there are a lot more tournaments there compared to here. So I used to compete almost at least twice a month, I'd say. And on most of those tournaments, I'd be playing 4 to 5 matches per day, and each match can range from 30 minutes all the way to 2 hours. I think the longest one I played was more than 2 hours long. It was a very, very tough match because there are so many other great tennis players out there in Texas. But if I remember correctly, the most steps I've gone out of playing tennis on one day was 40,000 steps, I believe, which I'm pretty sure is like at least a couple miles long. So yeah, I do enjoy it. I love playing tennis. I love sweating and grinding through all of that. So yeah, that will be my most exhausting experiences. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. That concludes my part of the table topic session. I will now pass it to Eric for some more questions. Yeah, that's everything on there already.
Would you rather be Batman or would you rather be Superman, and why? And that question, we'll go to Mr. Pendergast.
Thank you, Toastmaster. If I could be either Superman or Batman, part of me wants to be Superman because he's almost invincible, except for kryptonite. But Batman has all the cool toys. So it's kind of a toss-up. Either one would be able to ameliorate some of the crime in Memphis. That's where he focused. But overall, I would choose to be Batman. He's got a cool car. He's rich. He's got cool gadgets. And if someone has kryptonite, it won't bother him. He'll be able to survive that. So if I could be a superhero, I would be Batman. His car's bulletproof. He fights the Joker. He's got a friend, Robin. I'd change his outfit, but he's still pretty cool. And I would fight crime on the weekends and sometimes during the week. And I wouldn't have to have a regular job because I'm rich. Thank you, Toastmaster.
If you were in a horror movie, which one do you think you could survive the longest in, or just survive in general? And that question will go to Mr. Horace Taylor.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. That'll go to Michael.
Now, admittedly, I'm not really a big fan of horror movies or novels, so I haven't read that watched that many movies that are horror. However, one book that I have read is It. I heard the movie was pretty similar, so I'm pretty familiar with the plot. I would survive in It probably because why would I stay in Derry? It's the town where the killer clown lives, who hides in the sewers. Guess what? You can't touch you outside of that town. So why wouldn't I just leave? Now, of course, in the story, a lot of the characters do leave, and they're haunted by these scary visions that bring them back. However, I like to believe that I have a pretty strong mind and not any superstition. So when I see those visions, I would just think, oh, bad dream. anyway. So therefore, the killer clown would not be able to affect me in any way and draw me back into its murderous clasps. I would therefore be able to ameliorate my fears and stay away from that town which has killed so many. Thank you.
If you had to live in one city forever, which city would you choose? Or just like which country would you choose? And that question will go to Ms. Anna John.
If I choose a city to live for my entire life or for the rest of my life, I would choose some place that near a beach because I just enjoy beach so much. I understand that could be some hurricane season coming. It will be a lot of work preparing your house, etc. But yeah, I will just make sure I prepare well so I can go through that season and come back, no problem. But yeah, having a living place near the beach, I can go to the beach in the summer, even in the winter. That would be a really fun experience, lovely experience. Which country I want to be at? I think that would be America or China, because those two countries are the two that I'm most familiar with. In China, I would stay in Shenzhen, where I lived for 3 years. And that's the place that has the most wonderful food as far as the Chinese food goes. And here I would probably stay near Florida to have the Alabama, Florida, white sand area to have the best scene on the beach. So yeah, those are the two countries and the place I would spend my entire life in. Thank you.
Would you rather have a venomous spider chase you for the rest of your life? And like it doesn't matter where you go, it'll always chase you? Or would you rather have a venomous snake chase you wherever you go? And that question will go to Jenny. Oh, you already oh, Mr. Treat.
Would you repeat the question?
I want you to repeat the question.
Oh, would you rather have a venomous spider chase you around for the rest? Would you rather have a venomous spider chase you around for the rest of your life or a venomous snake? And why?
I really don't know. I've not thought of either one of those animals chasing me around. So I really can't answer that. So I will refer that question to somebody else. Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master.
Yeah, it's about time.
And that'll conclude the table topics session. And I'll give this back to the general. Oh, Toastmaster, sorry. Mr. Xavier Taylor.
Thank you for the excellent table topics master from the both of you. Now I would like to bring up our general evaluator, Mr. Joshua, if he's there.
He's not, but I can be the general evaluator.
All right. Thank you. Let's bring up Miss Anderson.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to be a general evaluator today. I first will bring our two evaluators. First is Owen evaluating Jason, kind of Mr. Jason's speech.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Leary. Jason delivered a very intriguing speech about mentorship, why it's important, and why one should both be mentored and mentor others. This speech excelled for many reasons. First, I believe that the speech was very well structured. It had a clear introduction, middle, and end that left us with a very powerful lesson. Jason also used expressions, examples, and other little things to make the speech extremely interesting to listen to. For example, he said, I was mentored by my parents, sometimes with a belt, sometimes with a hug. He describes two of his his bosses as cut from the same cloth. These little expressions, I think, make the speech extremely interesting to listen to and also help illustrate his point. He also used very good vocal variety, which emphasized the important parts of his speech and kept our attention. For clarity, I rated Jason's speech at a 5 because there was almost no stuttering, and if there were any, it had no negative impact on audience understanding. For vocal variety, I said 4 because Jason spoke at a very comfortable tone, pace, and volume. At some points, he slowed down to help exaggerate his points, and at other times, he went faster, went through a story or an experience. For eye contact, I rated him at a 4 because most of the time it was very good and helped retain audience attention, but sometimes he was not looking explicitly at the audience, but it had no negative impact overall. For gestures, I said 5 because every single gesture had purpose and effectively accentuated the purpose of the speech. For audience awareness, I also said 5 because he asked some questions and he also related his speech to the audience by talking about a university course, which could become very relevant for some of us. He also directly addressed some audience members, and all in all, his experiences could relate to the audience. For comfort level, I said 5. Jason was very relaxed. He was very comfortable with what he was talking about. There was no fiddling, and all in all, it was extremely smooth. For interest, I said 5 because Mr. Pendergrass's speech subject matter was very, as I said, relatable to us, and also using examples like in his work and with his own personal life, it was appealing to the audience. And finally, I said the speech content was very well supported because Mr. Pendergrass drew from his own experiences and each one was relevant and had meaningful contribution to his speech. All in all, I would like to say that this speech was very excellent. It left us with a powerful message, and it can serve as a very good example to the junior members of the club for how to deliver an amazing speech. Thank you, Mr. Pendergrass.
Wow, thank you for that thorough evaluation.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, our next evaluator is Eric, evaluating Joseph's speech.
So I will be evaluating Joseph's speech of his mission trip to the Amazon. Am I supposed to have like a paper like that? Like to, yeah, okay. All right, so he started off with a great presentation and PowerPoint, and he included a ton of photos that we could use and see what he was doing and what he meant by what he said. So it was very interesting, and it was very cool that he went to the Amazon and was able to help others in dentistry and other fields. And it was a very great presentation. He made great eye contact with people on Zoom and people here as he was looking at the screen. And I do not believe he had a script. And so he was just very smooth with his PowerPoint and presentation. He also was very confident with what he was saying. Like he had practiced it a bunch of times, which was great. And he just had great speaking skills. It was very good. And I think that it was a great PowerPoint. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, for that wonderful evaluation. Next, I want to bring our grammarian's reports from Jenny.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So for our Toastmaster session today, sorry. Owen had 3 uhs, 1 repeated word. Deanna had no filler words or repeated words. Mia also had no filler words or repeated words. Eric had 2 uhs. Quinn had 11 uhs. Mrs. Anna had 0 repeated words or filler words. Michael had 2 repeated words, and he also used the word of the day. Xavier had 3 repeated words. Horace had 1 Eric Treat had no filler words or repeated words. Joseph had 1 and 5 repeated words. And Jason Pendergrass had 1 2 repeated words, but used ameliorate twice.
Wow, great. Thank you, Jenny. Now the timers report from Horace Taylor.
Okay, so the timer's report is as follows. The first speaker, Mr. Jason, spoke for 4 minutes, 30 seconds exactly. And Mr. Joseph spoke for 10 minutes and 6 seconds exactly. Then the table topics, we got into the table topics. And the first question about March Madness, Xavier spoke for 52 seconds. Mia followed with 35 seconds on which is better, the pen or the pencil. Owen came in with the 56 seconds, referencing teaching, being a history teacher or a history buff. Then Wynn came in at 39 seconds. I think it was about arms and legs, which one is the stronger. Deanna came in at 43 seconds with her choice of food. Then I came in at 1 minute, 50 seconds, 57 seconds. Then Eric's came in at 49 seconds for the school year ending. Jenny came in at 48 seconds, not looking to take any more AP exams. Joseph came back with 1 minute 23 seconds for what made him most exhausted. He plays tennis almost professionally and for many, many hours. Jason then came in at 54 seconds for Batman or Superman. I think it was Batman that won out. Then Michael came in with his novel insight on It. Or was it IT? Yeah, It. But he alluded to he doesn't like horror movies or something to that effect. Then Anna came in with 1 minute 33, talking about the city she would most like to live. It was Qingyang in Florida. I think I heard that correctly. And then Eric came back with 59 seconds for having spiders or snakes chasing him around the clock. Then for the 2 evaluations, Owen evaluated Mr. Jason's speech on mentorship, 2 minutes, 53 seconds. Then Eric evaluated Joseph's speech on the Amazon River trip, was 1 minute, 25 seconds. And then our grammarian report was 55 seconds. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Grammarian, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Horace, for that one wonderful timers report. So this is the meeting evaluation. We started a couple minutes late, but we got our grammarian in-house and timer describing their roles and responsibilities. So raise your hand if you feel, I got this. I got how the meeting's supposed to go. If I'm called to fill a role, I can do it just like that. Raise your hand if you feel that way. Yes, great. So that means that the more it's a practice, the more you do it, the better you get, right? You can just fill in that role instantly. Yeah. So same with the speaking. The more you do it, the often you speak, you feel more comfortable. So yeah, I just want to say kudos to every one of you for coming here every week, because hey, baby step you make every week is gonna be a giant leap, right? Leap, not lip, leap. at the end of the school year. So I want to just applaud you for that, coming to here every week. Speeches, wonderful speech from Jason. I learned a lot from your speech. I need to get more mentors. I have a mentor, but yes, I need to learn from more good people, good managers out there. A great speech from Joseph. Yes, very heartwarming experience at Amazon River, helping the people, for forgotten people. Yeah, and it's good to know that, you know, the work you put in, put a smile back on their face. It is very rewarding. So thank you for sharing that experience. Yeah, the evaluations, great evaluations from Owen. Yeah, I like your approach. I would encourage everyone, take a look at Michael's agenda, know your role, know what you're gonna do, and you prepare for it. Print out the evaluation sheet and then go from there. Yeah, everything is about preparation. The table topics, I like Michael and Eric team up to provide table topics. Yeah, that's fun. And you covered everybody. Everybody had opportunity to speak. So it was a great meeting, and I definitely enjoyed every one of you. And I hope we'll hear more great speeches next week. Yeah. With that, I will give the virtual podium back to our president and Toastmaster, Xavier Taylor.
Thank you, Miss Anna, for a quick round of applause. Now, it's time to select our